As this news conference begins downtown from fire headquarters, we do want to turn it over to Mayor Curry, who looks like he's taking to the podium.
All right, hey, good afternoon. I got a call and was briefed last night about a stabbing of our own personnel with Jacksonville Fire and Rescue. Well, I can't use the words I'd like to use right now and that I wanted to use last night, but the idea that we have men and women that go out to protect us every day, and they're in a situation where they're trying to save lives and take care of people, and frankly, one almost lost their life, another one got stabbed. It's outrageous, and I'm going to be supportive of law enforcement and prosecutors to make sure this person is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. With that, I'll turn it over to our fire chief.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Last night around 10 o'clock, JFRD responded to 888 Franklin Street for a person suffering with back pain. While transporting that patient to UF Health for evaluation, the patient became aggressive towards JFRD Captain LaTorrence Norris. The patient got up off the stretcher and lunged at Captain Norris, and during the ensuing struggle, the patient took a box cutter that Captain Norris had in his front pocket and began to stab and cut Captain Norris. Those cuttings and stabbings occurred in the upper chest and the abdominal area. The engineer that was driving the rescue unit, Vincent Harper, heard the commotion occurring and stopped the rescue unit quickly and got out and got in the back and jumped in to assist Captain Norris. And during the struggle to restrain the patient, Engineer Harper sustained a pretty severe laceration to the inside of his thigh on his right leg. The two JFRD firefighters continued struggling with the patient until JSO arrived and took over the situation. At about the same time, a UF Health security guard pulled up to the scene on a golf cart and made a quick decision to give Captain Norris a ride to the trauma center instead of waiting on additional JFRD units to arrive on scene. This decision was paramount in getting the rapid treatment Captain Norris needed to save his life. Captain Norris arrived in the trauma center with a collapsed lung, substantial blood loss, which resulted in dangerously low blood pressure. Captain Norris is stabilized and has been admitted to the hospital for further treatment and evaluation. Had it not been for the selfless actions of Engineer Harper, the quick thinking of a security guard, and the incredible medical team at UF Health, this could have been a terrible outcome. Engineer Harper received treatment and was released early this morning. Captain Norris is in MICU in good condition and doing much better this afternoon. He should be moving to a regular room later on today. I want to personally thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers for Captain Norris and Engineer Harper. Also want to thank the security guard and the medical staff at UF Health for their quick and professional actions that helped save the life of a JFRD firefighter last night. As firefighters, we always say we'll lay down our lives for others, and last night, JFRD Engineer Harper proved that by throwing himself into harm's way in order to stop the attack on Captain Norris. So Vinny, thank you for your heroic act. Your actions undoubtedly prevented a bad situation from becoming a tragedy. I'll close with this and to reiterate what the mayor said. JFRD will work with JSO and the state attorney to seek the maximum punishment permissible for the person that committed this crime or anyone else who decides to attack a first responder. And now we'll take any questions you have.
Chief, this guy has a record, and is there any reason why he went and did what he did inside a rescue unit?
So we're not going to speak to anything related to the investigation. That's JSO's responsibility. He had a medical need last night, and as we always do, we transport people with medical needs to the hospital.
Is JFRD considering any changes to protocol to better protect crews should they find themselves in a situation like this?
This was an unusual situation because the patient was very calm. There was no issues going on, nothing. It just out of the blue, it intensified in the back of the rescue very quickly. So there's really not a lot. If we have a patient that is being aggressive or that we may need help with, we take more riders with us. We already do that as a policy. But in this situation, there wasn't any sign of that when the crew left to go to the hospital.
Are crews allowed to search anyone who's under suspicion for possibly having a weapon or anything?
No, ma'am.
Is there any circumstances where firefighters would ever be allowed to carry tasers to protect themselves had, JSO not been in the area?
No, ma'am, that's not possible. We rely on JSO. We work together with them hand in hand, and if we need them, they were very quick to arrive on scene last night and assist with that. And if we need them, they'll be there at a moment's notice.
So what about bulletproof vests as many other fire departments are doing in major cities when their folks go out?
So currently, the mayor about a year ago provided the funding for bulletproof vests for all JFRD riding positions. We have them. But in this case, there was, it's the crew. We leave it to the crew's choice on whether they deem the situation to be a bad situation. They should be wearing that vest. And last night, it just didn't appear that was going to be needed.
That security guard was with UF Health, so they were obviously pretty close on campus. Do you think that's what caused him to survive this?
And Doc can speak. Doc Elias, our medical director, can speak more to the medical side of this. But I will say that had it not been for those quick actions and that thought that security guard had, that we would be facing a way different outcome this morning. This was a bad situation. That security guard's quick actions and the actions of that medical team that work in the trauma center at UF Health, they saved a Jacksonville firefighter last night.
And both
Any reason to
firefighters
believe
have
this was
been.
retaliation?
I'm sorry.
Any reason to believe that this was motivated by retaliation?
I have no idea.
And both have been with the department for over a decade.
Captain Norris has been employed since July 8th of 2006, and Engineer Harper's been employed since February the 7th of 2009.
Any more questions? Your crews have been through a lot just over the past few months. Kayla Tracy with First Coast News. How are they holding up? It's not going to stop them, it sounds like, obviously, from going out and saving people, but just this added on to the long list of things they've been through. How are they doing?
Firefighters are resilient. It's just the way we operate. It's in our nature. But obviously, the last 3 months have been extremely. We've had some extreme trying situations. But as the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department has always done, they just bounce back and continue to do what they love to do, and that's serve the public.
Thanks, everybody.